Hello, how are you? I hope you're
We
good.
don't go the same places that we used to go. We don't ride the
I thought I'll have a little chat. It's been a hot second. I actually don't even know when the last kind of Q&A was. But I thought this would be a good time because there are some questions that pop up very often and I thought I might as well just talk about it. How are you is a common one we hear, which is also really sweet of you guys. I'm okay. It depends on when you ask me. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff. The bad stuff is the health. However, the good stuff is that my anxiety is better, I want to say. Don't want to jinx myself. It's currently acting up a little bit, but granted it was overtaken by depression, so I don't know if they just like evened themselves out because previously my depression was much like lower and this year it has been taken the lead, which is a new one from me, so I guess you're never bored. My anxiety came with panic attacks and a lot of panic episodes, so whilst I would like to not have either, if I had to pick, I would rather have lower anxiety, higher depression than the other way around for me personally. So I'm not too mad about it. Is this messed up? This is probably messed up. Other good things. Cats are fine. They are healthy for the most part. Zeus is now on antacid medication, which is very much helped with his throwing up issues. So I'm very happy about that. Genuinely though, I have been quite stressed or stretched thin recently. Again, separating anxiety disorder from normal anxiety and stress. Very different things. So whilst my anxiety is good, or better, much better, I have been quite stressed recently. Chronic migraines, if you've not known about me, although I do try to mention it often, but not too often, because I do know that people get tired of it, even though they don't want to say that they do. You know, I don't want to appear like I'm moaning, but I also want to share that side of experience of creating online and trying to do more whilst not really always having the capacity for it, and how does that look like. And because I also know that I have attracted a lot of people who are similar to me, and I know that for some of you it's important to see that side, which I totally agree with. So it's a hard balance to find, and I don't know if I have it nailed. It's also hard because if I wanted to put it like literally as is, it would be pretty much every day, because recently I've gone back to having the migraines 25 to like 26 days per month. This is not about that. This is not about that. Today I'm good. Today I'm good. But thank you for asking. Wow, this started already really blabbery. What is your favorite thing about living in Edinburgh? I used to live there and I miss it. Well, currently, and for the last year now, I could be living in literally anywhere and it would make zero difference because we don't leave the flat. We don't go anywhere. But we both work from home now, so there's literally no reason other than grocery shopping. Which side of the bed do I sleep on? The right side. Why? How is my reading going this year so far? Is it different from last year? Well, last year was not that long ago. This year I do have the TB avatar kind of giving me a little bit more structure, which I do enjoy. I actually think it's going okay. I think it's going a little bit better than last year. I'm finding some reads that are, if not, my favorites, then are exciting at the time, which is amazing. Will try my first middle grade in forever this month, so that's fun. I'm still not reading that much, but that's largely because of overstretching myself and also because of the health. Like, I cannot match the pace of people on the best of days because I'm a slower reader as well. But when I put everything else on top, I'm actually just quite proud of myself for reading at all. When you are a content creator, it gets a little bit hard if you get a long period of time where you have not read anything, because then you run out of things. You run out of things to talk about or to do, and it can get a little bit stressy, but I've been better at worrying less about that online this year. So in a sense, it is different in that respect, I guess. What I'm currently reading, I'm currently reading The One. I'm only 80 pages in, but watch me put on the first episode on Netflix yesterday because that's when it came out. It was completely different from the book. I was ready with the remote in my hand to stop it at any point if it seemed like it's gonna spoil me stuff. I'm hoping that's just very different and they just took the concept and ran with it and it's not really that related to it, but I've stopped after the first episode. It looked okay. I'm excited to continue with the book though and see where that goes. How did I start playing D&D? Well, the first time I ever played D&D was at uni and it only lasted one evening. The second time we lasted quite a long time and Logan was DMing and we were playing the Curse of Strahd campaign, and then the third time I only played for like 4 or 5 sessions and then I just couldn't fit that into my schedule because I want to do so many things and then don't understand that I cannot do all of the things I could if I didn't have the health issues, which is just a reality, and I need to not drill myself about that. I'm very bad at it. I want to do all of the things and yet I'm still lucky, you know, because I am very abled in other ways, but it can be very hard. We started recently when we did that because we wanted to hang out with people in real life. Both me and Logan have the majority of our friends are online and they are not in Edinburgh. We cannot just meet up with them. But we did want to like spend less time looking at the screens and just meet up with you, and this was obviously before COVID, and COVID was the reason why we stopped, but we would meet up every Saturday and then we would have like 4 or 5 hours with like no screen time, just a couple of friends that hang out, and it was really nice. I really miss it, and I think I would still have enjoyed it and made it an excuse to be there. I had to skip some sessions, but overall I really enjoyed it. And D&D was just kind of like a no-brainer because we both are quite geeky and we like the games in general, and we both play World of Warcraft, and D&D just seemed like a natural step to take. Do you have any other hobbies that you do while you are reading or listening to an audiobook? Bullet journaling, if that counts. I can't always listen to it because my brain does not compute sometimes, and I just can't multitask sometimes, honestly. I used to watercolor quite a bit, if you remember. I've not had a chance to do that recently. I do some designing, but I can't listen to stuff when I do that. Cleaning's not quite a hobby, so I don't know if that counts. I do just like messing with paints and colors, to be honest, even if it's just for nonsense and just for fun. Big part of making the TB avatar was just to have a board that I design and then I make, and that was a really fun time. And when I was making the cards as well, or when I was painting the book edges, it's anything that I can just like mess with some sort of design stuff. I'm not necessarily great at it, but I have fun when I do that. Have I ever been to Canada? I have not, but I would love to. And it's always been on both of our lists with Logan. We've not done a lot of traveling, to be honest. We went anywhere together that was outside of Scotland and wasn't to visit a family member. Was that Italy trip that I did vlog. But behind the scenes, I actually had a terrible time because that was when my breathing disorder kicked in. And we did not know what it was, and I was very scared, and I was away from home, obviously, and I was just like not being able to breathe in like a 30°C city at that point. It was just not a good time, and I got really depressed. So, and I of course have the guilt that comes to it. Obviously, like, we've been together for so long, and this is the first trip we actually allow ourselves to take because we're pretty we tried to save a lot because we've been saving for years now because we want to get a place together. So it's just the guilt that comes with having health issues is a thing that I feel like I've only spoken with other people who have similar things, and it's very hard to put to words because even though you know rationally that you shouldn't feel guilty, but you also, most likely, anyone that I've spoken to with chronic health issues, if we went further into the topic, a lot of the time people come with experiences of people saying that they're fine with it and then slowly disappearing from their lives. I still struggle with that. I still feel very bad when I have to cancel something, which happens a lot. I don't feel like maybe this today was not the best day to film because I'm kind of struggling with words, so there's that. How old am I? I am 28. Do you like traveling in non-COVID times? You know what? I always said that I would love to travel, and I would love to travel. I just don't remember anymore how it is to travel without worrying about all the health related stuff. Literally all my answers, I'm sorry, all my answers are health related stuff, but that's because that's my life. So I guess currently the answer is no. What is your favorite baked good to bake? I've not baked anything in so long. I'm assuming this is talking about sweet things. And I didn't even bake it because it was like or did I? I can't remember. But cheesecake? We're gonna go with cheesecake. Have you ever been in Poland? Yes, I have. Many times. The part of my country where I grew up is not far from Poland. So me and my parents sometimes will drive there to do a little bit of shopping. Because things were cheaper there. Favorite tea or beverage? Honestly, so tea is mint. I will always say water, and don't at me. Water is the best drink. It is so good for the quench. Okay, favorite fruit? We have, I want to say raspberries. What's your favorite childhood memory? Oh my god. All the kayaking. My parents were very, very active. And they would take me everywhere with them. So me and my sister, we have 11 years between us. So when they had my sister, they were fairly young, but that was just the age that people were having kids at that time. So all of their friends were also having kids around the same time that they were having my sister. So I was like a late child, and by the time they had me, so they would take me everywhere. So I was almost always the only kid in the adult sphere. I do have a strong feeling that because I was always the youngest and there were no kids around, that's why I have like no fucking clue what to do around kids. Like I am useless. I am an aunt to 3 boys. Worst aunt ever. They have already just accepted it. They have 0 expectations from me, which works out because even then I somehow fail. Like, I'm just the worst. With the kids, I'm really just the worst. I don't know what to do with them. I have no interest in doing anything with them. It's so bad. I feel bad because I know I'm supposed to feel differently. But here we are. But I think that's maybe where it stems from. But anyway, my favorite memories, I think, are definitely camping with my parents and kayaking. We would just literally kayak in rivers. It's very normal where I come from. People use nature a lot because it's free. So we would kayak and then we would camp whenever we would find like a little campsite or just make one. There were so many fun memories to that time and I miss nature. It actually hurt. I cannot express to you how much I've grown in nature compared to anything else. Like, it was my whole life. I was playing make-believe constantly in nature. I was just doing my own thing. I don't know. It's just such a fun memory. I was so carefree as well. Like, it was great. Okay, so this question and a combination of similar questions come up a lot. So I thought I'm just gonna talk about it. I've never talked about it before, but let's do it. So this is the why do you go by G? What is your real name? And then very similarly, where are you from? What's your nationality? Similar things. So I thought I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. This is probably gonna be a little bit all over the place, so I apologize. But when I started BookTube, I was not in a very good place. I was feeling super alienated. I know a lot of you guys are not from UK, and if you are from UK, you might not be an immigrant to UK, but I know some of you are, so you might relate, or your experience might be completely different. I'm from Lithuania, very much, your Eastern Europe bloc that joined the European Union in 2004, and that is kind of like the group they were mainly talking about when a large part of campaign of leaving European Union was to close the borders. It was never, French people. It was mostly Eastern Europe, Poland, Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, the lot. I'm obviously very, very privileged. I am a white girl. I have a lot of privilege. When I do open my mouth, however, people can hear my accent. Then people ask where I'm from. I feel like it's hard to kind of like explain, but there's a thing with UK and people from Eastern Europe coming to UK. I'm gonna leave it there. When people say go home, I'm like, well, I thought this was my home, You feel like you're kind of denied the permission to call it a home. Whereas in my heart and my soul, this has been my home for a very long time. And so anyway, the reason I was going by G, it was kind of twofold. I started in 2016. Earlier in 2016 led to the Brexit referendum. I was a little bit fed up and afraid and tired of having the same conversation. When I started the channel, the last thing I wanted is to have more of those conversations, more people kind of probe into my life. And I was already feeling super lost as to where I belong. Do I even belong anywhere? That still continues to this day. Because I feel like I don't even know how it is to live in Lithuania as an adult. Never have. But yeah, so that's why I went with G, because I knew if I go with my full name, then people will ask about where I come from, and then say something nasty. Also, the second reason is because it's just easier for everyone involved. I've seen a TikTok recently when they were saying, like, if I can spell, I think they used the word Ashley. Also, I know an Ashley. Ashley, if you're watching, I'm sorry, this is not about you. If I can learn how to pronounce and spell like 15 variations of Ashley, then maybe they can try and spell and pronounce my name. And I believe they were Asian. They had like an Asian name, and we're using like a westernized version of that name. And believe it or not, I've in the past have gone by Amber, which I just don't vibe with at all. But it's because my name means amber in my language. But my name is Gintarė, so it's nice to meet you. You might hear it a bit more. But I am proud to come from my family because I know what my family has gone through. If you don't know much about Lithuania, that's pretty common. Don't worry about it. It has had many occupations. The last occupation was actually ended in 1990. That's like yesterday. I was the first generation to be born in a yet again freed Lithuania. Like it's so recent, and I feel like sometimes that's part of the reason why I don't know where my home is, because I at a core have such a different and lived life experience from, let's say, Logan, who grew up here, and like he knows it, I know it. We're very similar in many ways, but we are also so different because of the experience that we lived in. The G thing has just grown. Like that's how people know me now, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't want anyone trying to like use my full name, but I no longer mind if people do. So that is a long-winded answer to that. Okay, on to some lighter stuff. Do your cats chew or nibble on your books? No, they do not. They do sometimes just like rub their faces because, I don't know, they love to do that on stuff, so. What would your dream home look like and where would it be? I don't know. I have so many different types of homes that I would love. That's near nature would be great, but at the same time, something that's not far from a city and a hospital. Big spacious windows, like big windows, a lot of light. I would love a brick wall, kind of like urban style, but with plants. Dark blue teal wall. Is that an answer? I don't know. Do you have any plans for when a lockdown is lifted? How are you doing? I would love to see my family. It's almost been 2 years now, because when we first went into lockdown, that's when I was due to visit, so this is quite sad. That is the only thing that's very high on my agenda, is to see my family. Now, another one that's very majorly asked question, and part of the reason why I thought this was a good time to address this, or do the Q&A thingy, or like a chat. Q&A sounds wrong. Chat. So, this is about the magical readathon. What's happening? Will it happen? What's up? So, yes, I hope it will happen. No, it will not happen in April. No, it will not be Harry Potter themed. Yes, I will try to make it my own complete different thing. Yes, it will still be, as I said, a university, like a magical university thing, with a hopefully similar structure to what the previous one was, because even though it was based on something, I also poured a lot of myself and adjusted things to my own liking. I was hoping to stick with the same months, but a lot of the things, mainly my health, See, like, how soon are you gonna get tired of hearing that? But that's just my reality. Imagine how tired I am of living with it. I just couldn't pull it. I couldn't pull it. I cannot do April. I'm just not ready. I'm not there yet. I wanted then still to find 2 other months that I can do this on. However, it's kind of looking like it's gonna be more of a like a prequel introduction thing, hopefully, and it's gonna be 1 month this year, and then hopefully going into that like a normal regime, and then 2022, if you guys will even enjoy it. Maybe you'll just fail miraculously. There's I know there's like no pressure, but I feel the pressure. Not gonna lie, like I feel like there's some expectations. I can never compete with like an established fandom that meant so much to so many people. That is just not something I can create, even if I was like some sort of wizard, you know. I can't conjure that, cannot falsely create some sort of nostalgia to get everyone, like, because everyone already knew the world and everyone was already invested and they were imagining themselves in the situation, and I think it added something else. But I hope that this will be a different kind of fun, but I feel like whatever, no matter what I do, people will be disappointed. But that being said, I always feel like that, so it's nothing new. I have some stuff written down. I have some work in progress things. I shared some stuff with the Patreons. I don't want to say anything too much because I'm not sure if it's not gonna change. So I don't want to like do that, and I also don't want to give it away. You know what? It's a surprise. Yeah, I'm excited. Still scared because I feel like I'm not at that point. Like sometimes in my projects, I reached a point where I change from like uncertainty to like, oh my god, let's do this. I'm not reached that point yet. I think I still lack clarity and structure into the world that I'm creating, but it has a name. So that's really fun. I hope you will like it when the time comes. Yeah, it will hopefully happen this year, but it will not happen in 2 months. It will probably be 1 month, more as like a fun kind of little adventure intro, maybe going to the university, you know, and then or maybe like some sort of year 0.5, who knows. That's the plan. I might fail altogether and it might never happen, but that's the plan. I hope that's okay. Oh, how's writing going? I didn't realize we came here to roast me. Similarly, what's the progress about a future readathon? Again, I have a name. I have some ideas. I have done some research and other bits that I want to implement, hopefully, in a very subtle way. And that's with Lithuanian mythology. Very subtle. It's not going to have a massive impact, but it's going to hopefully have some inspo in there. Again, I think I know the structure of how things would work, but I don't have a structure of the world yet pinned down, but I do have some ideas written down. And yeah, I have some puzzle pieces, but I've not made the picture clear yet for me to put the puzzle pieces in their correct places, if that makes sense. So that being said, I just did not have a lot of time to sit and dwell on it, or was not in a creative mindset to do so. Yeah. What languages do you speak? English, Lithuanian. At school I was studying French and Russian. Could not speak French at all now. And couldn't speak Russian either. Could understand some bits. But I think with languages, like if you don't use them, it'll just leave. Do you still read tarot? What cards do you connect with most or comes up most for you? Ooh, interesting. Yes, I do. I actually do some readings on Patreon for everyone. I just feel comfy there, so it's fine there. I don't really feel comfy here to do that because I'm not an expert and I use tarot in a different way than some people, although still similar to a lot of others as well. So sadly, the cards that come up for me the most are the swords, which just of course. That is a good question. I would have to think a bit more about which one I connect with most, but I love it as a self-reflection tool. Do you like your newish therapist? Oh my god, that was so far back. I sadly stopped seeing her. I did like her at the start, but then I think a lot of things happened in my life. It was difficult. I stopped seeing her around the time where I probably needed her the most. But it did seem like I was a bit too much, and she was just a bit lost for words as to what to do with me, because I was in a bad state at that point. And also I kind of sensed an opinion that I didn't quite like about something that was very important for me at the time, and was also a topic of what I was discussing. So I've stopped seeing her. I don't think I'm ready to go back just yet. My favorite video game, we actually wanted to make another video with Logan because we made a top 10 in 2017, I think, and it would be fun to react to that, as well as like making a new one, updated one. I think I'm gonna finish here because I've been recording for way longer than I anticipated. I thought I'm gonna sit down and do like a 10-minute video, and now it's, I think, over an hour that I've spoken. Granted, hopefully I will edit this down, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it clarified some things if you were wondering. Hope you know me a bit better now. This literally died as I was saying goodbye. Okay. Thank you for watching. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I will see you in the next one soon. Bye.
Remember